Welcome back to These Guys Again, or TGA, a weekly film podcast. We can kind of say weekly now. It's been 2 weeks. So
bi-weekly.
We'll say bi-weekly. We're non-committal. We're sticking to non-committal. The non-committal bi-weekly film podcast.
It's a complicated podcast.
Where we talk about films and all things related to that. I am Craig. We also have our news hound, Mark. Hi, I'm Mark. I like to talk. No, Mark!
When I close my eyes.
I know, exactly. No, Mark can't be here today because we don't want him here. And we don't want him on the podcast because his point of view is irrelevant because it's so biased. But he might be back next week.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we. And also on the audio, on the decks, in his big DJ booth that he demanded, Irvin.
Them demands.
You're still working on a catchphrase, are you? It took you a long time to process that. Okay, so we will go into the DIY news. By that, whatever I could find on the news article last minute because Mark didn't. The articles last minute because Mark didn't send anything across. Why do we still employ him? Why are we paying him all that money? All of that money that we earn off the YouTubes through all of those
79p.
Double digits of views on a good week. Why do we keep giving him the money? Okay, first off, Warner Brothers has been shuffling around their schedule. There's been quite a lot of
reshuffle.
Yes, they've been delaying. It's almost all delays in terms of it's delays, Delaygate. We've got loads and loads of delays, but most of all, probably most interesting to us is the Lego Movie 2 has been pushed back to February 8th, 2019.
Ooh.
So that's 5 years because it was 2014, same weekend, I'm pretty sure. Because it was it weekend before Valentine's Day or the Valentine's weekend essentially.
Aye.
And it's it's been pushed back. So that's 5 years. It's pretty much 5 years.
I'm trying to remember, was that How to Train Your Dragon 1 came out as well, or was that 2?
I think it was 2 at that point because they were because 2 went into the Oscar nominations, but
Lego Movie didn't.
Because Jay Baruchel was making loads of comments about how he felt that deserved it more than Lego Movie.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people just didn't take on board.
Because he's wrong.
You're wrong, Jay. You're just wrong. Lego Movie obviously was the surprise success when it came out. A lot of people didn't expect it to. Because the trailers were very child-oriented. Yeah. But a lot of...
And also the animation style was quite up into the air.
It was quite jarring when you're looking at it.
Yeah.
But then it's amazing when you see it.
Yeah.
And there's so many nods to stuff you grew up with. It's just absolutely amazing. Other ones that were moved around, the Jared Butler drama Geostorm has been pushed back to 9 months to October 20th, 2017.
Aye, so... Oh yeah, because this is outside their... Is this pretty much outside their comic book?
Yeah, it's
schedule.
Just it's everything else.
Because they're hoping, the comic book stuff will make the most money.
They're also still shuffling around what's even coming out with those or what they're going to commit to. Also, Ben Affleck's crime drama, Live by Night, which I am pretty sure he's written.
Live by Night?
I think he's written it and it's based on a book.
Yeah.
And that's been in talks for a while. It's got a really big cast, but it's been pushed back. It's been moved forward 9 months to January 13th, 2017. So I think they've switched that and Geostorm around. But I think the cast of that one, it's got I'm trying to see it's got Sienna Miller, Brendan Gleeson, Zoe Saldana, Chris Cooper, Elle Fanning. So it's got quite a large cast.
Yeah.
And Elle Fanning, I'm pretty sure, is in that Neon Demon film from the director. It's the director of Only God Forgives and Drive.
Aye, reckon.
I saw the trailer and I straight away said, "This is that guy. This is that director."
Yeah,
because it just looks like that.
Yeah,
and it looks mental, and its plot probably won't make sense. People will go to the cinema, they will see the film, and they will say that was terrible. But when they read what the film's about, they'll come back and say it's amazing.
Masterpiece.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where it'll read really good as an analysis, but it will actually be dire to follow.
Yeah.
Be disjointed. It'll be like The Fountain. Did you ever see The Fountain?
Nope.
It is a
maybe.
It's a Requiem for a Dream. What's that guy?
Oh,
Aronofsky. Yeah, it's Aronofsky's film that tells 4 separate stories while having a center point of a monkish looking Hugh Jackman on an island floating in space.
This has never been done before.
And it's all over the place in terms of it has the same actors. I think it's him and the woman from The Mummy.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. I think it's those two consistently, but it's 4 separate stories, not told in chronological or thematic order.
Nice.
So it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I was really hungover when I watched it. It was really hard to understand.
Yeah.
It was a bad day. It was a very bad day. Shame on you, Aronofsky. And also, Warner Bros. Has moved Ed Helms and Owen Wilson comedy Bastards back 2 months, and it's now November 4th, January 27th. So yeah, outside of their comic stuff, they're moving all these things around.
Yeah. Is it spelled the right way or the wrong way?
What? The...
Bastards.
It is ARDS.
Okay. The right way.
The right way. But yeah, so this is... I feel like... I thought it was just comic book movies, but it seems like everything's getting 5 years in advance notice a lot of the time now. Well, just because of the delays, we're getting so many things moved around. And I just find it's really jarring sometimes where it's like, oh man, we were already waiting 3 years for this. Let's wait another 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 5 years.
It's also with all the other things getting... going downhill, like Jupiter Ascending and Pan, and not all having the reception that they want.
Yeah, also in terms of Lego, it's probably not even that
and
bad.
Lego Batman.
Because I was going to say Lego Batman is essentially stopgap in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's the same Lego Batman who's weirdly into his music and hip hop.
Yeah.
And is just Will Arnett.
That is the best thing though, it's the same continuity. It's the same Batman.
It's the same bizarre all over the place continuity.
Aged really, really well.
Exactly. Will Arnett. And also, in other news, Finding Dory breaks the single-day animated record with a 55 million on Friday when it came out. And that'll just be America so far?
Yeah.
Because this, what happened to? I'm sure there was a brief moment when Disney and Pixar were releasing things about the same time. But it feels like we're back to that. Let's delay everything by when they get stuff around October, we're getting it in February the next year.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you mean about their actual animations coming out at similar times.
Yeah. Have they always been delayed like this?
I don't think so, no.
Because I know.
But I think it might be trying to capitalize on some sort of weekend or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
but it just seems to be that there's always about 3 months difference at least. Or there's sometimes 4 months, because I remember Tangled. Tangled was something like it came out in September in America, and then it wasn't here till January or February. And it's the same with all Zootopia, Zootropolis, same thing as well.
Yeah,
it's really bizarre. Like having this, how can you dictate understand how successful a film is when it's essentially coming across different places in 6 months?
Yeah, I think it's also like they try to keep an idea if they're tracking, or maybe to put pending limited releases on other territories, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was an interesting one to put in. It's
still not hyped for it.
Still not hyped for it. Nah. It's really bizarre because Pixar still make good films.
But they're really gone into the sequel factory now. And
also, Good Dinosaur really flopped for them because that film had to be completely redeveloped from the ground up, and I think that must have eaten into its marketing budget because there was no marketing for that.
Nah.
It just came out and they did completely scrap it. The director and creator left.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been shifted on to other projects.
Yeah. So that one was in development hell for quite a while.
Yeah. You're on adverts for a while.
You're doing the shorts, but I don't want to do the shorts. No, you're doing the shorts. Get back in the short shed. That's where all of you short workers go. You don't get to stay in the actual studio. Take a blanket, it'll get cold at night, because that's all you're getting. That's how Pixar works.
Pixar, we make dreams happen.
And we crush the others. Also, going back to our usual, we always have a superhero-related news article all the time, every week, because that's about 50% of your Hollywood blockbuster movies now.
Yeah.
Donald Glover has joined the cast of Spider-Man Homecoming. It doesn't seem to have been disclosed yet who he's actually going to play. But remember, this is Donald
Black
Glover.
Panther.
Donald Glover, who was famous in Community, wrote for 30 Rock at the age of 21 when Tina Fey picked him. Also, Childish Gambino, very successful in America as well. He's played cameos in The Martian. He's played cameos in quite a few films, actually. Because I know he's been in...
And it's Donald Glover, not Danny Glover.
Did I say Danny Glover?
No.
I always get the other way around. I always call Danny Glover Donald Glover.
Yeah.
But
he's aged really, really well.
I've never seen a Lethal Weapon. No, I've seen Lethal Weapon 4. That's the only one I've seen. No, he's done a few of these films. There's one I was quite surprised to see him in, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me right now. But
Because doesn't he try to do more serious things?
I know, because he's doing a comedy series that he's writing himself right now called Atlanta. That is, it's going to be out this year at some point, and it's a kind of semi. It's supposed to be kind of biographical, but at the same time, it's supposed to be ridiculous because it's a comedy. But he does do a lot of these little serious things. He's a very good actor, despite coming from Community, where you see how expressive he is, and he is weirdo. His stand-up comedy is exceptional as well.
Aye.
But a lot of people are speculating he's going to be Miles Morales because those who don't know, the Spider-Man who continues on in the Ultimate Universe now, in the Marvel Universe, just to make it very confusing in the comics. Yeah. So he's essentially the other Spider-Man who takes the mantle from Peter Parker, but only in the Ultimate Comics. Now they coexist. But which is a weird one because Peter Parker's obviously the older mentor sort of Spider-Man, and then Miles Morales is the younger one.
Yeah.
And now Spider-Man's a teenager, or Peter Parker's a teenager, and if he is Miles Morales, he's like 30.
Maybe he's going to be Uncle Ben.
So it makes he could be. But he's in cast, so we don't know what his role is going to be, because he was this Donald Glover for Spider-Man fan push was for Amazing Spider-Man. When Andrew Garfield got cast. So it's interesting. Some people, there's also talks about them trying to sow the seeds for Sinister Six, so he could be a role. He could be Smythe.
Smythe.
He could. So I really don't know who he's going to play at this point.
That's the only thing I want to hear in the MCU.
You want to hear
Smythe.
You want to hear Kingpin shout Smythe. Oh, well, who was his Smythe in Daredevil?
Was there a Smythe? I don't think there was a Smythe in Daredevil.
Yeah, it was. What's his face? Wesley was the closest thing.
Yeah.
He was kind of that role.
Yeah, because he kept going,
Wesley. Which was excellent. Oh, he's been in The Martian, Magic Mike XXL, and The Lazarus Effect. Which I'm not quite sure what The Lazarus Effect is. But that should be interesting. People are going mental speculating, but everyone's stuck on the Miles Morales thing.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, because of that fan push and them to give kind of recognition to who the fans wanted in the film, they could just be giving him the role.
He's Diles Delaris.
Obviously, he's a great actor, but this could just be kind of almost a fan service approach, because you're getting the best of both worlds. You're giving fans someone they wanted in the franchise, maybe not in the role necessarily.
It'd be great if he's only in it for like 15 seconds. Oh, it's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man. What are you doing, Spider, from all those things, Spider-Man? New York people. That's not how they sound. Okay, and that is the end of the incredibly short and concise news. Wow. It wasn't very concise. News. Just wanted to say that. Mark's never described his news as concise.
Or objective.
Thinks he's so big. Can't even make it here. Not paying him enough, clearly. He's putting us into the poorhouse.
We've stuck him in the short cupboard.
Yeah. So, do you want to ask me if I have seen Jackie Brown?
Have you seen Jackie Brown?
I haven't seen Jackie Brown. So we're not. So that segment is still delayed. We're also still not making our big Marvel movie predictions, because as you can look around,
we announced like 3 months ago.
Yeah, but when you look, that's like 2 episodes ago. But when you look, because of our amazing scheduling, you know what? 13, who's in charge of the schedule? Marcus. He's got it. He's got that schedule. He just won't give it to us.
Yeah, Marcus.
No, Mark. It's all on Mark. As you can see in this rumor of when you look around that no one else can see, so you can clearly, it's our point of view they have to trust. There's just tons of predictions on the walls that I put down, all linked by thread. It looks like a madman's domain.
They've been framed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the good ones.
Yeah. Things will continue to happen, question mark.
Someone will die, but someone will live again. Very vague. I can get points for this.
Credits, question mark?
Yeah. So in the meantime, I thought to myself, we need something to fill this time gap. Okay. Other than asking each other about how our days have gone, because no one wants to hear about that. As exciting and rock and roll our lives, our lives actually are.
Very.
I thought I was watching something. You know how there's this thing which is the celebrity lip sync battles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was someone on it that I found very interesting because they're incredibly intense, and I didn't expect them to be on. But I thought, what if we literally put two actors against each other? Who would win in a fight is this segment. And I don't know if it's in terms of character acting or if they literally could beat the bejesus out of each other. But who would win in a fight? The person who was on this, Michael Shannon, or Hugo Weaving.
Ooh.
Two incredibly intense
Intense.
actors.
Yeah.
As in, their resting face is that of sheer intensity.
Yeah.
They look like they've constantly got the world's sourest sweet in their mouth. Who would win? Who's the best catalogue of films, first, when we think about this?
Ooh,
because that's what they'll really battle with merit.
Yeah.
That's how it'll work.
I know, because I was going to watch Take Shelter, and then I was like, nah, I'm going to bed. Sorry, Shannon. He's going to have even more intense face. I think I'd still have to give it to Shannon. After seeing him like for a brief bit in Boardwalk Empire, just when he's, got the leather belt and he's beating up his back.
Yeah. He is mental. In Boardwalk Empire, he's constantly intense.
Yeah.
In Superman, in Man of Steel, constantly intense. What else we got? Obviously, what we talked about recently with Midnight Special, constantly intense.
Lovingly intense, but still intense.
But then he also did And They Came Together, which was that comedy thing. And although he's still really intense in that comedy role, so he's constantly intense. But Hugo Weaving, lovable Elrond, still intense.
Still intense.
Red Skull, really intense. Agent Smith.
And also
intense in mass. Okay, this makes it more interesting.
Intense in plastic.
Because do we count each one of those as a role?
Ooh.
Oh, me.
And also the twist if he was the one at the end anyway.
Yeah. Well, like if I was thinking about, like, say, Chris Hemsworth fighting Chris Evans in the Battle of the Chris's, because there's such physical specimens, I would see them fight each other. While Hugo Weaving and Michael Shannon, I just imagine them staring across two cliffs at each other, and then things are happening, and everyone feels really scared, but they don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
because they're just so intense.
And all you just have is just crescendo music.
They're fighting on the... Someone's like, what's that? I can't believe this. They're fighting on the mental plane. Nah, I do want to give it to Michael Shannon because I've at least seen Hugo Weaving smile. But when I see Michael Shannon smile, it's scary.
But it's also like Michael Shannon, he's only 40.
Yeah, he doesn't look 40.
Yeah.
He's aged. It's like one of them... I don't know. It's the only way I'd say it, it's he's got a face like a cliff face that's been beaten by the shore way too often. Give him a break.
So that was also like your opening review for like Midnight Special. Was like, how crap does Michael Shannon look?
I didn't say that. That's not what I literally said.
Well, how chiseled he looks.
Yeah, he just has a face that looks like cured leather. like a couch that's been worn. I really respect Michael Shannon as an actor. He's an incredible actor. And I would love to get a strong drink with Michael Shannon, which he would drink like it was orange juice. Yeah. But no.
And he'd come at you with a samurai knife. And someone shoot him in the face.
No, I do think that it's going to have to go.
You think how mental he'd go if you called him Mike?
I don't know if I ever heard him laugh, it would just be scary. It would shake me to my very core.
Aye.
It would just shake me to my very core. And then there's the wild card. I could put in Christopher Walken back in his prime when he was mental.
Yeah.
But the issue is we've seen him in so many funny things now, and he does a lot of comedy roles. I mean,
him in Jungle Book was amazing.
Balls of Fury kind of ruined any kind of intensity for him to me. So. Yeah, no. And
he's lovable in Seven Psychopaths.
So on our two-pronged scale for this one, in our Dident, no Trident, not the Trident scale, the Dident.
The duology.
In the duology of this one, I think the win or lose. The lose goes to Hugo Weaving. The win goes to Michael Shannon.
Also as well, he's the only one that's like sort of refused the MCU contract thing. They're like, yeah, you're contracted to do all this, and then he's like, nah, I'm not doing it.
That does take balls.
Yeah, and he's Megatron for the first couple of Transformers.
Why are you making this confusing? We already gave it to Mike. All right, we're gonna give an honorable nod to Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
but we're still giving this to Michael Shannon.
Oh yeah,
Michael Shannon. Yeah, we have to
because he's only 26.
To think he's a 15-year-old boy in the body of a 40-something-year-old man.
Oh, I'd love that if they did.
That's a great film. It's like being John Malkovich, but being Michael Shannon.
Or like Freaky Friday with like
a child and Michael Shannon, but the child looks in the mirror, sees his own face, and is like, oh dear God, I'm Michael Shannon. No, he's not an attractive guy. He just looks really intense.
Yeah.
Poor Michael Shannon.
Or Big with Michael Shannon.
There's so many films that'd be great if you just inserted him in. Oh, man.
We love you, Michael.
He's our most talked about actor. He's one of The amount of times we've said Michael Shannon now.
Yeah.
Him and The Rock. Man, that is a buddy cop film I'd love to see.
Ooh, yeah.
No, what? He doesn't switch bodies with a child. He switches body with The Rock. That's the one. It's a perfect one. Yeah. It's definitely Michael Shannon. We can do so much more with him.
Yeah.
Okay, but moving on, we should go to our main feature. That was a great aside, though. Definitely in our top asides. Without Mark holding us back.
Aye.
But yeah, we will go. Our film for this week was The Nice Guys, which I kept calling The Lucky Guys, which was, I don't know why, had nothing to do with it. But The Nice Guys, which is a film starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Correct.
And it's directed by Shane Black. Can you familiarize me? I always forget. What is it Shane Black has done before, and what is it he's actually best known for? As
So this is his third directorial role.
Directorial.
Yeah.
In the duology.
In the duology. But he's, well, mainly known as a writer, and especially with a specialty in the buddy cop genre. For the Lethal Weapon series. He sort of cut his teeth on that. His first directorial role was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer. Wrote and directed that. His second film, which is, his best ever, Iron Man 3, which crowds adore him for.
Which you like, don't you?
Yeah, I thought it was
hate
good.
Iron Man 3. It's the only one I don't like in that.
And also,
if I had Michael Shannon, I'd probably enjoy it. Maybe The Rock. If they could fit him in that suit.
Recast the little boy.
No, I was meaning...
Tony, I want to be like you. Jeez, this guy's intense.
No, I was meaning Michael Shannon is Tony, and then The Rock is his love interest.
Ooh, imagine Michael Shannon is like Tony Stark.
It'd be great. Just chuck a mustache on him. Okay, but let's continue back on. All right, so The Nice Guys. First off, I thought this film was hilarious. I'm going to be honest, this was a hysterical film. It's really weird going into it, though, because it feels quite disjointed at the beginning. To me,
it's sort of setting up the scene and stuff. Just from the get-go, when the credits were rolling in, and then you hear the sexy wow wow and the little bass kicking in.
It establishes when it's set straight away.
Yeah.
Which, for people who don't know, it is set in the 1930s. No, it's set in the 70s. But so you've got it's got that whole, how would you describe it? You're the music one here. It's the musical one.
Yeah, it's just classic 70s. It's almost got like that blaxploitation feel a wee bit.
Yeah, that's what the soundtrack's kind of like. It's almost the Shaft sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's
really like your getaway showdown stakeout.
And there's a lot of narration at the start as well from both Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Just from the get-go, you're like, damn, Russell Crowe's voice is amazing.
His voice is really good in this. He's also heavier set in this one again. Like Russell Crowe, who's
he really suits it. It's amazing.
He's constantly going up and down a way.
Yeah.
His body must hate him. Ryan Gosling looks pretty much the same.
Yeah.
He usually does.
He rocks the tash though.
He does rock the tash.
Good tash.
As one of them, as Russell Crowe, who essentially plays how would you describe his role in this film? He's
an enforcer for hire, pretty much.
Yeah, he's pretty much the guy that people will pay and he'll rough them up.
Yeah.
Like, he's a professional rougher-upper, as the books call it. And then Ryan Gosling is a PI. But when we say he's a PI, he's a really, really... He's mentally brilliant, but he's really incompetent.
Yeah.
And then there is the daughter, who I'm trying to remember who actually plays the daughter in this. Also... Matt Bomer is in this film, but I didn't realize it was Matt Bomer because I haven't seen him since.
You're like, oh my god, it's Henry Cavill.
Well, he was in Lost, and I saw him in like adverts for that program. What was it? Vampire Diaries.
Oh yeah.
And he just looks completely different. He is just Henry Cavill now.
Yeah.
It's weird. He's put on so much more muscle, and he's much broader, and even his face shape seems to have changed.
Yeah.
And it's just really bizarre because the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, oh, this actor looks a lot like Matt Bomer, but at no point did it occur to me it was Matt Bomer.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, he's a character.
Especially when we're showing objective markings, like, that's Superman. It's like, nope, it's Matt Bomer.
He has a lot of character to his character. Like, there's a lot of, like, even though he doesn't really say much or do a ton, he's really interesting.
It's very physical.
It's an interesting role. The way I would compare it to is kind of like in Sin City. What's his name?
Marv?
No. At the very beginning, opening and closing of the film. He's in 40 Days and 40 Nights.
Oh, Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett's role, and I can't remember the name of the role. But he
the lady killer.
Yes, but he has like 3 names in the book. They've basically established that he was 3 different roles in the books, even though they weren't supposed to be related. But his kind of role of, where he doesn't do much, he doesn't really say a ton, and he's not a huge part of the story, but there's something kind of charismatic. There's
a way about him.
There's this charisma to him that just makes you think, okay, this is quite an interesting character, and it gets you engaged. But they obviously, our 2 focal points though are Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. What did you think of their performances overall?
They were fantastic. It was just such a refreshing thing to see the definitive Mary Sue on screen. Mr. Ryan Gosling's.
Ryan Gosling's.
But also, like, the amount of funny sequences in this is phenomenal from the get-go, and the script's amazing. And also, when you've got all this on top of each other, again, like Midnight Special, it's a film. It's a real...
Yeah, there's like craft to it. There's a lot of stuff behind it. Yeah, I'll just say it now. Russell Crowe was Jackson Healy. Ryan Gosling was Holland March, which is a great name, and is Angourie Rice? Angourie? I can't pronounce it, but the daughter. It's the daughter of Ryan Gosling's character. She was Holly March. Really good in that role. Like, she did it really well, and her chemistry with Ryan Gosling was really interesting. And then
it's cool because he works quite a lot with young actors now. Like since like Iron Man 3, and also the wee boy at the start. That's I think, was it Tyler Simpkins?
I think so.
Boy. Yeah.
And there's also Amelia, who is Margaret Qualley, who is from The Leftovers. She's kind of the one they're hunting through it. But it's a really interesting story, but it's really funny, and it twists and turns in places. But it plays with, just when you think they're quite intelligent characters, they undermine almost everything about them. It's a really undermining tone to the cast, not to the people watching. They give you so much credit to be smarter than they are. But are we both in agreement that Ryan Gosling steals the show in this, as great as Russell Crowe is in this?
It's because
from the fact that this is essentially a comedy film. I was going to say it's a black comedy, but only because of it's Shane Black.
That's good.
But Ryan Gosling's comedic moments in this are just ridiculous. He's quite over the top in how he plays stuff, and I couldn't stop laughing
because it's cool because it really mixes with like the classic sort of Shane Black thing, the buddy cop, little caper sort of thing. But then when you throw in all the things he's done into the mix, it makes it feel so fresh, and it's just hilarious.
There's so many funny moments in this. I was laughing out loud at multiple parts of this film. And their chemistry's really good. They bounce off. Well, all the cast that are involved, like all the dialogue between people. Kim Basinger is in this as well, but it's a really small role. But Yaya DaCosta, who was, we all know from Tron Legacy, in her tiny part. But like every dialogue exchange is really snappily written and really natural. But the characters just bounce off each other. Even there's little hammy moments, but they're done intentionally. They're quite funny. There's one part where Ryan Gosling discovers a body, and it's really hammy. But because of the context of this film, it works really well.
And also, like, the 5 things previous to setting it up.
Exactly.
Is amazing.
It's so funny. There's just so, it's, I can't state enough how this is. While Hail Caesar, which was another well-crafted sort of comedy film,
love letter as well to the golden age.
That there's some people, like I said, who wouldn't find that particularly funny because it's a very odd film. In terms of its,
and you haven't got the same sort of straight through line to it. It's a day in the life of this producer, and and the funny parts of that are quite awkward in how they're funny. This is very much, it's on the nose funny. But it doesn't undermine the type of humor it is. No,
it's not.
It doesn't even undermine the character either.
They're quite endearing and how ridiculous.
He's just very real. It's like, oh, this is just like an average guy. I can get with this guy.
It's so funny. That's the thing as well. Like this is Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, who are seen as like, in certain films like Gladiator. If you look at Gladiator, if you look at even The Notebook or whatever Ryan Gosling's done as well, these are guys that are considered like pinnacle guys, but in this, you're just like, these guys aren't anything special, and that's how you're supposed to think of them. This is how you're supposed to think of them. And there's a lot of playing with moral stuff as well, which is actually the film, I think, is going to get even we're doing that, giving a lot of credit for it being a comedy, but it does a lot of stuff where it plays with how people are morally, and it's quite intelligent in that way.
Yeah, I actually get a little bit of a character study as well.
Exactly,
with both of them.
Yeah. Well, it is a very good character study of these two different characters that just have they approach the same situations in different ways, and they both one takes things head on, the other one doesn't at all. One avoids everything entirely, and they both have different sort of moral compasses. Even though they're both not great, like they're both not really nice guys. Yeah, they're both tackle things in very different ways. Yeah, but it's very intelligent how it tackles a lot of these moral things, and the fact that there's a child involved, the way they have to speak with a child is very different. And
also all the situations that they put in, it was really funny and how it all worked together. Yeah, also like the production design with this is fantastic as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
and also where we've had a couple of films previously where like they've mixed in real world elements and it's been quite jarring. With this, it really worked. Like the vintage car things when you had like Earth, Wind and Fire. Yeah, exactly. On the roof of the porn party.
It has this weird, like, it's almost like this more grown-up Starsky and Hutch quality to it, isn't it? It's very much in that vein. But it is it's really interesting. The way it's shot as well is very
fluid. But
it works. Like I said, it feels a bit weird at the start when you're thrown in, but it doesn't take long for this film to just kind of have its pace going, and everything makes sense.
But it's cool because it has everything. It has sort of like the character setup, and then it goes balls to the wall action as well. And it's really because you're really invested with them, but then also you're having a great time.
Yeah, it's very grounded action as well. Like a lot. Well, the end of it is not is comedic action. If anything, the final section is just ridiculous, but not, this isn't going to be like Crank ridiculous or anything like that. But
we got Michael Bay to do the second unit directing.
They're transforming. They're shooting into the sun. But no, I would definitely recommend seeing this film especially considering like it's a comedy film that has got this really interesting balance to it with so many different aspects.
And it was just something that was such refreshing, from what all we've had, this year. And you get occasional glimpses of something different, something fresh.
Yeah, exactly. And did you know anything about this film going in? I had no idea about anything really. I just saw a bit of I saw the trailer, and that's all I
didn't want to watch the trailer. I just knew Shane Black, Russell Crowe thingy, 70s.
See, I only saw the trailer about 2 weeks before. Okay. It was just in the cinema. Yeah. And I just wanted to see it. Yeah. So it's really interesting not having this build up and this film just comes out. Yeah. Which is happening a lot this year. Like, despite Mark, our news hound, who we pay way too much, informing us of all the things coming up, there's loads of things that are slipping under the radar. It's a shame because a lot of them stand out better than the films that, don't
the
get pushed like
blah,
that. Blah, blah. Yeah. But it's not like they're low budget films or they're indie films or anything. They have these
real filmmakers.
They have blockbuster sensibilities to them, but they also have these elements that are
they're cannily made. Ike, have you seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I've not seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
You like that? Val Kilmer is just the boy in that.
I do like Val Kilmer. Have you ever seen Tombstone?
No.
Val Kilmer's amazing in Tombstone. He's so good.
And also, it was nice.
I'm your Huckleberry.
And it was also nice seeing Keith David doing another film role and acting.
I know Keith. I looked over to Gary and I was like, it's Goliath. It's Spawn. Look, it's Keith David. Last time I saw him in anything was a really disturbing part in he was in The Cape, which was a TV series where he played like a circus owner. And he was also, but I remember that years ago seeing him in Requiem for a Dream. Oh, right, yeah. And he plays a really creepy role. Yeah. It's his voice, though. Keith David has such a menacing voice.
Yeah. But it's so smooth.
Oh, it is smooth. It is smooth. He should be doing cigarette adverts.
And so should Russell Crowe.
Oh, yeah. Smoke. The voices and characters everyone put on this film were excellent.
And also Keith David's suits. Amazing.
Well, to be honest,
bright red suit.
Yeah, but I was going to say, there was some like the actual design of the whole film is just really.
It's also like Ryan Gosling's little suit. I was like, oh my god, I love that suit.
I know, it was
that shirt, that blue neon shirt.
There's also Bo Knapp who played. They called him Blueface because of an unfortunate accident in the film.
Yeah.
And he was really good. Like he looks so. I've got a picture of him there. Like he looks so different in the film. I thought it was Sacha Baron Cohen for a minute.
He does have that look.
He does have this weird look, and he's almost over the top in nature and stuff as well. So that's another good nod in the film, I think, as well. And I felt, was it Lois Smith who played the old lady who's Bruce Lee in it as well, who's just your eccentric old lady. But there's again the acting all over the place is really good in this one.
The acting,
the acting. None of that fake acting. None of that Avatar acting.
Again, Mark would appreciate that. Love you, Mark.
Paying him too much. He's getting a salary cut when he comes back.
Yeah.
But no, is there anything else you want to mention? I don't think we need to go into spoilers for this, to be honest. It's not that sort of film that it's really...
Oh, I do.
Do you want to talk about favourite moments? Is that what you're going to say? I'll give you one favourite moment.
Oh.
Because there's so many, and we'll just end up doing a run-through of moments. Because there are a lot, and people should be surprised by this film.
Oh, and this is another interesting thing as well. Was it Shane Black loves Christmas? Or at least I think he does Christmas, and all his films are always at Christmas time. And you only get that at the very end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll give the spoiler warning now. It will probably only be about 2 or 3 minutes, but we'll give the spoiler warning now because I know exactly what my favorite part is going to be. There's so many. We've talked so many parts, but you have to.
I know what your one is.
You have to select one. All right. So, Irvin,
this sucks. It's between bathroom, Ryan Gosling's dream. That was so good. Where's your ankle gun?
I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 then. All right, I'll give you 2.
Yeah, because the through line with the fishes, that's more like an action scene. I don't know. And the hotel elevator.
You have to make a choice.
So many good.
You have to make a choice.
Yeah, first one, I'll go with the killer bees when he's having the hallucination.
Oh, he's having his dream.
Yeah.
He's having a dream which has terrible consequences later on. Well, not terrible, but it's just ridiculous consequences. Ryan Gosling starts hallucinating and it's just so jarring.
Yeah, it's like the cars, they do it by themselves now. It's like in the 70s, he just lifts his hand on the wheel and it's just driving by itself. And then the giant killer bee like shows up. It's like, yeah, you're doing okay. And it's like, here's my ankle gun. It's like, wow, you have an ankle gun. And then like half an hour later, he just dashes to his feet and he's like, we're going to use ankle gun. I think you dreamed this. Oh my god, I did.
It's like, oh god, there isn't an ankle gun. Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? And it's like,
What's your other moment then you want to use?
No, you put your moment first.
Okay, mine
even
was
though I've just said tons.
Mine was the final run of the film.
The car bit.
No, from
the whole part.
Basically, the whole section where Ryan Gosling says, "I think I'm invincible. I think I can't die," and he just goes on a series of moments of getting battered. In that part, I was like, he could do a good Nathan Drake because he just gets smashed all over the place. He almost gets himself shot. He gets
almost gets blown up and
bruised. This whole film is essentially Ryan Gosling getting punished, though.
And then from the offset, and it's like
that whole section though of just the run of just getting absolutely decimated. He goes from like a 3rd, 4th floor down to the ground floor,
and then he gets hit by a car. Yeah, and he just rolls it off.
It's just constant. Yeah, that part was absolutely exceptional. I think I know what the other part you're going to mention is now.
Just to. Since I've already said other ones, I'm just going to say the elevator scene.
The elevator scene. That was the one I thought you'd say.
Is it?
No, that isn't the one I thought you would say. But the elevator scene's a great scene.
I know.
It's also in the trailer, though. I'm sure I'm sure that whole one, at least a good chunk of that is in the trailer.
Fine, it's void. Bathroom scene.
No, the one I thought you were going to say was the breaking in scene at the very beginning.
Okay.
With the cut to his hand.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Because the transition to the ambulance is the best part. Oh my god, he breaks glass and then cuts his wrist open.
But it's not even that, it's like he struggles to put like the fabric over his hand correctly. It's just all those little moments that are scripted beautifully, performed beautifully, just because that's what normal people do. We suck at everything. We suck at adulthood.
There's human fumbling in this. It's not all done in this picture perfect way that you could do in films.
I know, it's not like Tom Cruise doing whatever. It's this guy fumbling to try to get a fabric to cover his hand So, he can punch glass, but then he like severs a major artery.
There's loads of just intentional, just absolute mess ups in this film that are really good. Like the toilet cubicle, as you've mentioned, like loads of little things.
And also Jessica.
Yeah, there's just loads of just ridiculous things. I think
Can you kill my friend for 30 quid? We're just talking.
There's loads of really interesting. Like you've said, it's almost
when she gets thrown through the window.
It's almost in how honest this film is, in how fumbly and terrible these characters are that it works, because they are just bumbling.
Yeah.
But it's still never to the point where you don't put any faith in them.
Yeah.
They keep just enough for you to stay invested.
And also when Gosling is just like flirting with everyone, he's like, I'm the cowboy, you're an Indian, shoot me, and then he falls off a roof.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, I definitely would recommend people to see this film.
I'm trying to think, film of the month.
What else have we had? It's because last week was Warcraft, which Mark will say is film of the month. What else was there? I'm trying to think.
If it's technically end of May for us, was it?
I've seen something every week this month, and I'm just trying to remember what else there is. But either way, this is the one that's sticking in my memory because it has been
a breath of fresh air.
It has been a breath of fresh air. It's one of those ones that stood out, and I think if you don't know it's one of those. It's
you going blind.
Yeah, it's one of those points where if you don't know what's going to happen, if you don't know anything about film, it's not going to disappoint you because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with that, and it was just enjoyable all around. So are we ready to give it a rating?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want me to go first or you go first?
You go first.
I think giving this a whelmed, as much as I want to give, I was just thinking I'll give this a whelmed because it doesn't stand out as anything ridiculously special. It's been a long time since I've had a comedy film like this that really does make me laugh out loud, especially since Zoolander, which was just disappointing.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I think in terms of comedy, this is it's more of a comedy than it's more a comedy than the Hateful. It's more of a comedy than the Hateful Eight and things like that. Those I don't.
And when they're sold like that as well.
And this though, as a comedic film with really interesting elements to it and a real craft to how it's filmed.
Yeah.
And excellent performances. So I think taking all that into account, I'm probably going to give it an overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
Good choice. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go underwhelmed just to twist it.
But yeah, because it's just all those underpinnings, because it's also like there was hardly any moments where there was a bum laugh or nothing. Everything hit.
Yeah.
And everything was just beautifully paced. Performances, the writing. And it was just really fresh. And also when it just came and you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially when it does like a lot of the normal sort of caper things, but then twist. It was really fresh.
I would completely agree. So yeah, it gets an overall overwhelmed.
And we need to do it South Park style. Nice.
Nice. And Mark isn't here to bring it down, so it gets an overall overwhelmed. Nice. Skewed the system. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think that is us for this week. So I think we're done here. We have to
see you next September.
We're gonna have to think about how we're gonna fire Mark now, or maybe cut his pay to the point where.
Are we going to do it by text or email? What's more corporate?
Might just tell him to listen to this episode.
Yeah.
I'll make sure he does the thumbnail first. Then we'll get him to watch the episode. That's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Thumbnail.
Because we're nice guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I know.